Katana is a name I can really get behind. Well, as long as he doesn't stab me with one. Hi everyone, this is Triple T, and today I'm taking a look at Generation Toy GT-8B Katana. And, well, you can see, he is a bit old, so he doesn't really hold together here. So if you see that he isn't really tabbed in on that side and up here, that's to be expected. This is, of course, their rendition of blades, and he looks amazing. But first, let's look at the box. You know, you have that nice illustration, and you have the same illustration on this. Otherwise, it says Generation Toy, and nothing more. You, of course, have this nice little instruction sheet, as they say, with the name of him, Katana, and of the same and very, very nice picture from the box. I don't really see the alt mode, though. Wish I would, but still, a very, very, very nice picture indeed. The manual itself is appalling. Yeah, so transforming him with this the first time was a chore that I will not be doing ever again. If I ever come in contact with a toy that is this difficult to transform with the manual, I will try a different method or just wait until there is a video out. Yeah. But we come to the toy itself, and he looks really, really nice. And the detailing is sublime. You have some rubbery effects here. They are starting to actually dry up, but nonetheless, they are still very nice. And I do love this little red color here. You don't really find that anywhere else on him. So to look at a gorgeous red paint, you have to look at him from the front. And he does look good from the front. Two big eyes and a little nosy boo. Yeah. You have some transparent windows, but there's really nothing behind them. This could have been painted the same as this. That would have looked much, much better, I think. The weathering on this, I had to pay extra for, as most of you know by now, if you've been watching my reviews. And it was worth it, but it made the plastic brittle the first year, so I had to be very, very careful with them. At least I didn't break anything on this one. Yet. Okay. Going down the body, you have some crosshair and rescue tampos. Very nicely detailed. Not too much, but not too little either. I like the balance there. And you can see you have some weathering on these as well. And up here. And if we come to the top of him, you have that cross and rescue as well. But this, thankfully, doesn't really rotate. Even if I try to spin it, it rotates a bit, but not too much. And that is very good for combine mode, because this can drive you crazy on other bots without naming names. Okay, Max. For the underside, he looks utterly brilliant. You can see two hands, the back of the head, and half of the feet. But still, if you don't know that these are the feet, you don't actually see the feet. And this is the first head they actually have light piping on, so it should work, but it doesn't. Yeah. But he looks very, very nice in this mode. Very, very nice. You have to have the gun here. Otherwise, these arms will just close in on themselves, and he gets a bit spongy, and you can't secure tabs and stuff like that. So you actually have to have his only accessory, well, except for the blades, of course, on him here. And we'll take a look at that more when we come to robot mode later on. Because it is affixed with two tabs between his arms here. I was going to say between his legs, but the legs are actually in a different place. So, yeah. So this is what he looks like from the back. And from underneath, from the front again, and from the above section again. And he looks very, very nice. These things that he stands upon are a bit spindly, in my opinion. It holds him up, but just barely. Now, I don't have the other bots in his set in alt mode. So here is the X-Transbots to fill their places, so you can actually get a grip about how this looks as a set. And you may think whatever you want of the X-Transbots ones, but I think this as a set looks very good. And he actually has a place in a masterpiece collection. He looks really masterpiecey. And the transformation actually fits in well with the X-Transbots, if you know what I mean. But this as a set looks good, and he looks very good on my shelves with the other Protectobots in any mode. Now we're going to transform him, and we're going to go to combine mode first, if I am able. It's a very difficult transformation just because things hinge to places it shouldn't, and you can do it multiple ways as well. So it's a bit fiddly in way too many places, unfortunately. But we're going to try, and, well, I'll be right back. I'm going to start by taking these off, because they drive me nuts and I don't want to cut myself. Before we put them away, we put them together like a big sword, because in combine mode he has big blades and not small. Or big katanas, maybe, in this case. Katani. Very katani. We start by folding this around. Fold them up. Fold this around. And have that sitting like that. This should be together yet. You have two little pegs here. There. That's going into that slot. And we're going to try to get it in there. You do it half blind because... Is it maybe like that? No. No. This is strange. This never happened before. You do that with that side, and you press that in as well. And these are going to be felled up. Okay. I may have that on the wrong side. But that doesn't really matter. Let's keep that up for now, shall we? Just for the heck of it. You split the back. Like that. And you do have tabs here that are going on to those. And you have a tab there as well. And this is how you want things looking right now. You untab this. And remember, don't break it up. Unhinge it like this. Else you will destroy some parts in here, I think. Hinge it all the way forward. We're going to push that down, but we're going to do something with the arms so this won't stay. And this should be up. But first, let's untab the leg pieces here. You take that and push it together. Push it out. Compress this piece. These two pieces may come out during transformation to combine mode, and it doesn't really matter, but you can just tab them back on in there, so it's okay. Now we're going to untab the sides here, and they are tabbed into the arms, and quite severely, due to the fact that this is here, because this doesn't really create any room for arrows. But I'm going to take that off now. And I'm going to separate this. Oh, I always forget this little step. This piece is actually tabbed into here. So fold those down, hinge the arm to the side, unpeg this if it hasn't already, as in my case. Loosen this, come to this side, untab the arm, and it's going to go all the way around, and you have two little, well, let's call them pegs, that are going into the arm like so. And this is just going to be felled out, because they are going to tab onto each other right here. But before we do anything more, we're gonna fold the waist section in on those arms so they tab in. So we get everything into place, and now we're going to put these little pieces on the back together. And these, you can really do what you want with. There will be a piece with their hotspot that can actually hold this up, and as it should be. Okay, let's rotate the arm, bend at the elbow, fold that down, and the last step, except for the hand of course, is plugging these in both directions and angling them down like so. And here you have him in combined mode. And it is a very juicy combined mode, I think. It looks very, very good, feels solid, have that nice ratchet, which we all know and love. You have a little swivel here, so he is very articulated. And this is the way you want that sitting for now. In robot mode, you want that in backwards more, like that. But here you can have that because the hand that's going here isn't going to hit that at all. I'm going to hit that, but that's a different story. So there you have him in arm mode. Very nice arm mode indeed. Now, I haven't found any storage for the weapon. I mean, technically, you can put it in one of his hands and just close the hand around it, because you have the hands right here. So, can you put it in? No. No, you can't. You can't put it in the same place because it's too long. But otherwise, you could have put it between these pegs again. But nope, that's not gonna... Or is it? I have to try this. I'll be right back. Now, I put the gun in here with the nozzle facing downwards, and that works just fine. I don't know if that's a storage from the from Generation Toy or not, or if it's just me that likes to do things in a different way. I don't know, but it doesn't really matter. There is the gun storage, and well, we should get on with our lives and go to robot mode. How does that sound? Yay! Okay, let's do that then, shall we? I'm gonna remove the gun, put it off to the side. I'm gonna take these away. They are way too hard, in my opinion. Rotate him so he looks like this. Separate the legs like that. Fold the feet down and it will tab in. And fold the foot forward. Then fold the leg forward like that. It will tab in. And that little red thing will tab into the leg. Fold this knee joint down and that will tab into this right here. And this can just be felled back. And there we have one leg all done. Untab the arms from these sides. And now we're going to unplug the entire thing from this piece. And you have a hinge here, double hinge, that's going to loosen everything up. You have a little, well, you see what I mean. Just put that in. Lift this out just for now. It's going to go on the other side here. And rotate to a position you like. You can have it forwards or backwards. Doesn't really matter. When you have done that, you can fold this backwards So you actually can do everything in the right way as you should. Rotate this around and scooch this inwards. You have a tab in here that's going into a little hole. And you have a tab here that's going into that windscreen. It isn't really solid, but anyway. Hinge this upwards, and this tab is breakable, so be careful. But this tab will go into that port, and we'll close up that. We come to the arm, we pull that out. We scooch this back if we haven't already. And this piece, can angle this a bit down because it's gonna go into there. You close these up and they don't really secure anywhere, but yeah. But you have to pull this arm down so far it actually gets stuck where it should. You can of course have this rotated in front, but I think this looks better. And I think this is the official transformation as well. But that's one arm done. Now we come to the waist. We angle it up and tab those side pieces onto that waist there. Come to the back, fold this up and just have it sit there. And there you have Blades in his robot mode. I'm going to get you up so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Here. And he looks so good. Before we take a look at him, we're going to go with the accessories, since they were on him last time. You have his little gun here, weathered in a nice effect. You can angle this if you want to store it, apparently. And you can, of course, fold this in. I like this very much. I like when things actually have a place in every mode. Kudos to Ocular Max, who always finds a way. Very nicely done. The blades come in two pairs, one with a tab and one with a port, so you can combine them to that big blade. And yes, he can hold it as a big blade, and he can, of course, hold it as a little katana. What is fun, also, I think at least, is that you can put his swords on him in different places. I'm going to do that because I really do like that. A bit snug, but no, it was the wrong blade. You have to have the blade without a tab on that side. Yes. Here. That, and if you haven't already, fold this in so it just disappears a bit. You can actually, if you have the tabbed ones, you can tab it into his waist like that. These aren't really that stiff, so they firm, or whatever you want to call it, they do pop out. So yeah, but he does look very nice, all armed up. Where is that port? There it is. And just for funsies, let's put his little gun on in his hand. And I think this is the only thing that isn't really weathered because it feels very, well, normal. It's a strange word to use here, but you know what I mean, hopefully. Close that up. And now you have him all armored. No, not armored. Armed up. Let's get up close and personal on him, shall we? He looks really good. I love those light-piped eyes because this is actually light-piped. I don't know if you can see that, but they glow in a light blue, very beautiful way. Yes, of course, that sticker is mine. The weathering detail are theirs. Very nice chest, very solid figure. He has a nice crotch region, like two beautiful wings down there. Always ultra, no. Weathered thighs, they are supposed to be, I think, a bit more whitish. These are more grayish since they are weathered. The legs are nice as well. They just have that little back piece kibble that can be really annoying when you're handling him, but it works, and it looks fairly nice. This is him from the back, and the cross is of course dissolved here. And you can see the swords everywhere. Really, really nice. And he does have a little bit of kibble. But this little kibble isn't that bad. And if you put the sword on it, it actually has a purpose. So that, in my book, actually just removes the kibble when you have a, purpose for it. Now for articulation. The head goes all the way around. Looks up, looks down. Yeah. The arms can go all the way around. They can go up, and you can untransform him, and you can have the arm go all the way if you want to. You have a little... There you have. You have a little bicep rotation, 90 degree at the elbow, and the hands are on a ball peg, which is rare for these, but they are. And the fingers are really stuck in there. Why can't I open them? Ah, there. As per usual, 3 is on glued together or molded together, and 1 is loose, and the thumb is just stiff as a board. I'll take that away because those on the side don't really stay where they should, which annoys me to no end back. These aren't as flimsy as the others, but I'm going to be very careful anyway here. For some reason, they have filled out the thigh on the inside. So you have to angle it a bit out, but this is as far as you get it. And that to the side, and that backwards. So you can have him in a bit of a walking pose, but still, not that much. Above 90 degree with a little knee filler piece here, not as good as some other bots in the series, but still very nice. And finally, you have ankle tilt, and you can move the toe downward, not upward or forward or back or anything, just tilt and downward on that toe. Now for the comparison I think everyone wants to see, and that is of course with Ocular Max's beautiful blades. And I usually find the Generation Toy more beautiful, but this just takes the cake. This is such a beautiful helicopter and bot mode hence, so a bit fiddly on some bits that doesn't really want to tab in on my copy, but otherwise it looks very, very nice. And that head is so accurate, it is hurting me looking at it. No, I really like that. So this is one of the bots in this set for Ocular Max that I actually really liked. But as I said, it doesn't always peg in, and I know I'm not the only one who has that problem, but I don't care. I don't care at all. As you can see, I care somewhat. They do have their kibble, but this is so much less. This looks so much better, but that is so much less. So, yeah. And I do find that this is more kibbly, but these landing struts are so much better on this than on that, because this drives me crazy. And as I always do, here is the rest of the set. I'm not sure how I'm going to fit them all in, but this looks very, very good. And we're going to look at my broken hotspot in the next installment of this little mini-series. And he is good, and I love that one. But as I said, he is broken, and we're going to have to deal with that when we get there. But he's still transformable, still playable, and still combinable. So Yay! Now for my conclusion. He is a very, very nice helicopter indeed, and the bot mode looks great, and the helicopter looks sublime. The transformation is okay if you have instructions to follow, and if you are really patient. This copy doesn't really tab in as it should anymore, but I don't care. The face looks amazing, the mold is just outstanding. The problem is that the transformation isn't as fun as it should. But his masterpiece score is going to be high, it's going to be 8. It's a strong recommendation from me, with or without the rest. And that is unusual for me and a combiner limb. But he's very, very well done, looks good, handles well, and I actually like that his big rotor doesn't really rotor, because that just makes things easier in combine mode. I don't know if you can get him anywhere these days. I really wish they would re-release this set without the weather effect, because I would buy that in a heartbeat, because they still look good. And if they would like to do it in normal masterpiece size, I would be even happier. I would be outstandingly happy, but I'm happy with this as is as well, of course. But I guess that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care.